everybody, BK with Masada Tactical here with another video. 2 weeks ago, I discussed how to make an entry into a room using a corner fed door and clearing that room. Today, we're gonna talk about how to make that same entry as a single person through a center fed door. So before I actually show the tactic, let's talk about some of the theory behind it. First of all, we have to understand as a single person, entering into a room where potentially there's a threat behind you is always going to be problematic. Unfortunately, being human beings with eyes in the forefront, I can only see in one direction at a time. So we have to account for it and understanding that this is of the highest risk before we actually make the entry. If I was working with a team, then that simplifies things because we can make a dual person entry, which I'm going to discuss in the future. Another thing to keep in mind is that center-fed doors are usually wider doors. There are exceptions to the rule, but if you think about your house, most rooms have a corner-fed door. Okay, so there's a wall on one side and I don't have to worry about clearing in both directions. When we're talking about a center-fed door, it's usually wider, which allows for A, bigger angles, but B, for simplicity of movement. The drawback is it is a larger room and does require me to really be observant as I turn my head around and investigate the environment. Understanding that we're limited in the scope of a short video in discussing all of the details that are associated with the skill, some of the main points to consider, A, is angles, right? Always working around that post of the doorway as I'm clearing. So essentially at no point you are in a true fatal funnel, as whatever area that you're exposed to has already been cleared. At the very end, if you notice, as I made that very last peek towards that zero angle, I took a peek backwards towards the 180-degree angle behind me. That peek has to be deliberate and it cannot just be a quick glance. That peek is designed to see if there's any threats there. And if there are true threats, I have options. Option number one is moving into the room behind cover if that allows, but more often than not, the better option will be to actually retreat back into the safety of being outside the room and restarting the process, turning in the direction to where you know now the threat is. Element of surprise is lost, but at least you can engage the threat from behind cover doing a single person tactic like was discussed in the previous video, link attached. Thank you all for watching the video. As always, we appreciate your feedback. We got some very good questions following the last video regarding the single person corner fed door entry, which we will be addressing in future videos. So please go ahead, leave us questions in the comments, send us messages. Make sure to subscribe and follow our social media channels, specifically YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And until next time, watch your safety.